Hello, everybody. Anthony Aniano here with RotoBaller Radio and rotoballer.com with the Week 1 waiver wire look at pitchers to add to your fantasy baseball season. Folks, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com right now and check out all the great content we have there. Sign up for our premium pass using the promo code ACES. Save some money at checkout. And then take advantage of all the great lineup optimizers, team sync tools, waiver wires, prospect reports, you name it. rotoballer.com has it for you. Don't forget, like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel for all sorts of great content, including the Week 1 hitter waiver wire video that goes along with this pitcher video. And like and download the RotoBaller app free and gives you all the latest baseball, sports, and fantasy sports and information right there at your fingertip. All right, so 5 pitchers to add this week for Week 1. Call it Week 2, depending on what your format looks like of your fantasy baseball season. And we start in the Bronx with Clark Schmidt of the New York Yankees. Now, full disclosure, this is being recorded Thursday, opening day, so things can change over the course of the weekend. Pitchers are going to have some starts, like Clark Schmidt of the Yankees. He's pitching Game 2, April 1st, for the Yankees against the San Francisco Giants. Now, we've had injuries already that came out today. Justin Verlander of the Mets hits the IL with a pulled muscle in his upper back of his shoulder. Max Fried of the Braves leaves his start early opening day with a hamstring injury. Okay, Tyler McGill will replace Justin Verlander for the Mets. Not talking about him today, but he could be an option as well if some of these players are not available. We use Yahoo roster percentages as a talking point, trying to keep players at less than or equal to 50% rostered. And like I said, the first player to mention, Clark Schmidt of the New York Yankees. Last season for the Yankees, in 29 games, 5 starts, pitched to a 3.12 ERA and an expected ERA of 3.54. Struck out about 8.7 batters per 9 innings at a 23.7% clip of the batters he faced. Pitched to a 1.20 whip. Now, he's starting for the Yankees with the injuries that have occurred to that pitching staff. Scheduled to start April 1st, tomorrow when I'm recording this, a couple of days now since you've seen it, for the San Francisco Giants. So if he bombs, you say, wait a minute, I'm going to take a step back, or maybe reduce the fab you were going to put in for him and get him for a little bit less money. If he pitches well against the Giants, we move him up our rankings going forward. Okay, 44% roster to Schmidt. If you're chasing wins, right, if that's one of your categories, what team is better to chase wins with than the New York Yankees, who I have predicted to win the American League East? Second pitcher, and this is off of a terrific spring, Cincinnati Reds starter Graham Ashcraft, 43% rostered. Now, forget about what he did last year with only six strikeouts per 9 innings, only 15.3%. Ashcraft changed his slider. He changed his grip. It had more bite, and you saw that with a huge uptick in strikeouts over spring training games. If that carries over into the season, what the Reds now have are 3 really top strikeout pitchers, because you already know Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo will be able to do that. So now you add Ashcraft with that improved slider and his ability to strike batters out. It could become a very formidable top of the rotation for the Cincinnati Reds. Last season, in 19 starts, about 105 innings pitched. He pitched to a 4.89 ERA, but a 4.02 expected ERA. So he pitched better than that 4.89 ERA actually shows. Whip was 1.42. Has to cut down on his walks, increase those strikeouts, but his spring was really hopeful. The slider looked terrific. So let's see what Ashcraft can give you going forward this year. My third starting pitcher, David Peterson of my New York Mets, 23% rostered. 19 starts last season, 105.2 innings pitched. And his spot in the rotation is there now, right? With Quintana, who they signed out until the summer, July, they're saying, Peterson won that job to take his spot in the spring. Now, with the addition of Verlander to the DL, that spot's not going anywhere because McGill is now in the rotation as well for the short term. 23% rostered is Peterson. He's a former first-round pick. This is his 4th season in the major leagues. 2 of the first 3 seasons, he's pitched to a sub-4 ERA. That's terrific stuff. Last season, it was 3.83 with a 3.94 expected ERA. A career-high 10.7 Ks per 9 innings. It's the highest it's ever been. That number has gone up each of his 3 seasons. He struck out 27.8% of the batters he faced. Walks are a concern. He was walking batters in the spring, thus leading to a whip of 1.33. But you're looking at a guy over 10 Ks per 9, a sub-4 ERA on another team that can produce wins like the New York Mets. Now, his first start is Friday, so you've probably already seen that game or read the box score by the time you saw this. I'm recording on Thursday against the Miami Marlins. Adjust your fab bids accordingly, depending on how he does. All right? Now, if you're looking for closers, if you're scouring for saves off the waiver wire, 2 players to mention. One is in a committee, and that's Kendall Graveman of the Chicago White Sox. About 40% rostered. He's in a committee situation in Chicago, and they've made it clear it will be a committee until Liam Hendricks returns. Okay? Last season, a 3.18 ERA. Year before that, it was under 2 in 2021 with a 3.51 expected ERA. He had 6 saves last season, struck out about 23% of the batters he faced, just about 9 batters per 9 innings. Graveman is going to get save opportunities. Maybe it's a platoon with Aaron Bummer, but nonetheless, saves will be there for Graveman. Now, if you're not looking for a closer committee, but really just looking for a closer, take a look at the Chicago Cubs. It's Boxberger and it's Michael Fulmer. Fulmer was terrific in the spring and has kind of won that job for the Chicago Cubs. I expect him to become the closer sooner rather than later at a full-time basis for this Cubs team. Yet he's only 27% rostered. Last season, he pitched to a 3.39 ERA with a 3.78 expected ERA. Struck out 22% of the batters he faced, 8.6 strikeouts per 9 innings with 3 saves. In 2021, he saved 14 games for the Detroit Tigers with a sub-3 ERA of 2.97 and almost 9.5 Ks per 9 innings. Fulmer is getting healthier. He missed time, remember, with Tommy John surgery. The healthier he gets, the better he becomes, and he's a sleeper candidate for 20-25 saves on this Chicago Cubs team. So, to review, 5 pitchers to add for week 1 of your fantasy baseball season. At the starting pitching role, Clark Schmidt of the Yankees, Graham Ashcraft of the Cincinnati Reds, David Peterson of the New York Mets, and if you're looking for saves, Kendall Graveman of the White Sox and Michael Fulmer of the Chicago Cubs. As always, thanks everybody for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy. Like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel, and make sure you check out the Hitter Waiver Wire video as well. Thanks for watching RotoBaller Radio, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.